The ability to cultivate your own garden. What a powerful notion that is. Preoccupation with being in other people's garden, and tilling their soil, and looking at what they're creating. Keeps us off of our purpose, keeps us off of fulfilling our human destiny and what we're here for, what we're about. Enjoying life and helping others to do that. As long as you're focused on what other people are doing, or should or shouldn't be doing, you're allowing their conduct or their behavior or their activities to control your life. That borders on immorality to me, because you've got a free will and you've got God with you at all times. To give that will over to someone else is like abdicating your very divinity, your very humanity. What your goal is to not allow other people's conduct or activities to be in charge of you, for you to be in charge of you and to know your purpose and to be fulfilling it. And if other people don't like the way that you are choosing to do that, then that just has to be in the way of things. That's just the way it is, and that's fine. If it can't be fine, then you have to stop and assess and look at yourself and say, why am I allowing other people's opinions or behavior or conduct to interfere with my own fulfillment or my own happiness? And know that that's what you're doing at the time that you're finding yourself upset with other people's poking their nose into your garden. And then you find yourself not poking your nose into their garden as well, because when you're on purpose, when you are living your life and conducting yourself in terms of loving and giving and sharing, then you're not on outcome. You're not at all concerned about whether this person likes that or not. I have found that one of the major changes for me in the past 5 or 6 years has been my almost indifference to what people think of what I'm doing. I find that I write now, when I write, on purpose, not on outcome. There was a time, I think, when I was more on outcome, on what's it going to look like, how's it going to sell, how's it going to do, and so on. And now I'm not on that at all. And it's interesting that as I get off of those outer concerns in my writing, that my writing really picks up and really improves and flows much better. I find that when I go before an audience and speak, that since I've let go of my notes and not concerned myself with outcome and with whether I'm going to be liked and how well I'm going to be received and all of that, I can be much more authentic when I'm on stage, when I'm talking, and which consequently results in my performance being, I think, much better than it was. And it isn't that I'm a better performer, it's that I'm on purpose. And I'm not concerning myself with all of the worrisome things that you can never get an answer to. That is, how is everybody going to like me, and how am I being received, and all of that sort of thing. So, more and more in my life, it isn't that I've made a decision, all right, now that I'm enlightened, I no longer am going to be concerned about what other people think of me. It's that it just simply doesn't occur to me any longer to be consumed with what other people think of what I'm doing. And the reverse of that, which is really nice, is that I'm not concerned about what other people are doing. I mean, I'm grateful that there are people out there who are doing a lot of the things that I would find just treacherous to do. I mean, emotionally treacherous, like being an accountant, for example, or working at a computer, or maybe being a chef, or driving a truck. Those are all things that I just couldn't imagine myself. If somebody said, you have to do it, I'm sure I could turn it into something positive for myself, but I'm so grateful that there are people out there who like to work at computer terminals and who like to work with figures. When you are cultivating your own garden and not concerned with others, you just look at other people's gardens and you say, wow, this is his whole life, and look at how good he is at this, and he can just shift this around, and he can do all of that. And my brain just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way any more than if and I told him that, I said, how would you like it if I gave you a microphone and 5,000 people and told you, go out there and talk to them for 3 hours? He said, I'd collapse. I said, or if I gave you 500 blank sheets of paper and I said, fill them and write a book. He said, I couldn't do it. I said, well, that's just exactly the way I feel about what you're doing. And yet I honor it. I mean, I celebrate it. To me, this is a genius that someone could do something like that And that's the way to cultivate your own garden. If you're a person who feels that you can't do that, or that's difficult for you, or you have to have your hands in on every little detail, and then you fill the other people with resentment towards you, then that's the payoff that you're going to get. You're going to be continuously frustrated. You're going to find yourself an unhappy person. You're going to find yourself judging other people and using your standards. You're going to find yourself doing the big no-no. If you want to understand the magnificent universe within you, you have to understand that making other people wrong or making yourself right is a real low step on the enlightenment ladder. I mean, it's not even on the ladder. It's underneath the ground. You've got to allow other people to be who they are. And if you are that detailed person who is going to judge them for not doing it the way you would do it, then I would suggest you don't have other people in your garden with you, that you do it all yourself. But you'll find yourself off of purpose then.